Lexus has joined the plug-in hybrid party with the introduction of the new RX450h+, which combines the luxury you expect from the brand with the added promise of better efficiency for this large SUV. But will it work? And will it suit busy families? I've been finding that out and more with my little family of 3 this week, so stay watching to see what we've discovered. There are 4 variants available for the RX range, and we're family testing the 450h Sports Luxury all-wheel drive, which sits second from the top and comes packed with premium features. It also manages to swing into the most affordable place setting compared to its plug-in hybrid rivals, the BMW X5 and the Volvo XC90. Although the latter does offer 7 seats over the RX's 5, and this grade does offer the lowest electric-only driving range of 65 kilometers. The smaller driving range is softened by an equipment list that is fully stacked with great goodies, including a panoramic sunroof, heated and ventilated front and rear outboard seats, a heated steering wheel, wireless phone connectivity, sat-nav, as well as updated media and instrument displays. There's also a 21-speaker Mark Levinson sound system, a digital rearview mirror, an electrically adjustable steering wheel, as well as a whole bunch of family-friendly treats that I'll get to later on. But the full specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you need more info. This RX isn't breaking any new ground. It still embodies the understated refinement you come to expect from the RX itself. I really love the strong flowing lines, 21-inch alloys and updated spindle grille. And in fact, this swoopy body is what really sets it apart in a segment where boxy and big seem to dominate when it comes to design. The cabin has a strong premium aesthetic with the suede and leather upholstery and trims, thick, soft touch points throughout, as well as huge, beautiful looking displays. I love how the panoramic sunroof adds a lot of light into this space, which you need with the dark headliner. The only thing I'm not super in love with is how thin the steering wheel feels. It just feels a little bit at odds with the rest of the aesthetics. The front row offers lots of space, but because of the stepped dashboard design, it still feels rather intimate in here, which is nice. These front seats are ridiculously comfortable with all of their extra functions, and I love the 4-way lumbar support. This is a very comfortable car to go on a long trip in. There are lots of storage cubbies available up front, so it's easy to keep this space neat and tidy. I like the dual opening middle console, and that the front center console has a few different spots to put a phone or wallet and keys. But it's in here that you'll find 4 USB-C ports, a single USB-A port, and a wireless charging pad. You're really spoiled for choice when it comes to charging options. The upgraded 14-inch media display looks sharper with its graphics and now has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and the CarPlay has been easy to connect to this week. I really like that you get a colored head-up display, sat-nav, and the upgraded 12.3-inch instrument cluster looks a lot easier to read now. A really handy feature that this car has are the seat controls that are located on the side of this front passenger seat. So as a driver, I don't actually have to get out of the car to move this seat back and forth, which I really like, especially when you have a kid like mine who's always rambunctiously getting into the car with their big school bags or projects. Access to this back row is really good. The seating is set like stadium seating though, so you are quite a bit taller than the front passengers. I didn't really like that because I kind of felt like I was getting pushed into the roof. Legroom though is really good, and the seats themselves are thickly padded, which means they're very comfortable on a longer trip. I also really like the hardened kick plates on the back of these front seats because they're easy to clean when you have kids' feet just constantly pressing on it like my son does. Speaking of, my 8-year-old really loves the storage and amenities back here because you get those extra seat functions I mentioned, plus climate control, a couple of USB-C ports, directional air vents, and a family favorite, retractable sunblinds. This row has 3 top tether anchor points, and the seat is wide enough that you should be able to get 3 child seats in side by side. But because the seat bases do sit a bit higher, you might struggle to get a big booster seat in here. The boot has been very practical this week with its 612 litres of capacity and extra features like a 12-volt port, a 40-20-40 split, as well as an underfloor storage area which is large enough for cables and the tyre repair kit, because you don't get a spare tyre in this model, which is unfortunate. But you do get a hands-free powered tailgate, which is always handy. This grade has a plug-in hybrid powertrain, which combines a 2.5-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine with 2 electric motors, one located on each axle. And together they produce up to 227 kilowatts of power. But Lexus doesn't quote the combined torque figure. This can do a 0 to 100 kilometer sprint in 6.5 seconds, which is more than enough grunt to move this big body around, which is great. It's just not as powerful as some of its rivals. The plug-in hybrid powertrain brings some serious efficiency for this large SUV, with a claimed combined fuel cycle figure of just 1.3 litres per 100 kilometres. My real-world usage is up on your screen now, and that's after doing a lot of urban trips and charging it each day. This has a small 18.1 kilowatt hour lithium-ion battery, which supports an NEDC electric-only driving range of up to 65 kilometers. That is on the low side for a family SUV of this size, and I would probably want a little bit longer. This has a Type 2 charging port and only accepts up to 7 kilowatts on AC charging, which means you can go from 0 to 100% in around 7.5 hours. That's not wholly unexpected and easy enough to leave overnight. And I like that Lexus throws in a couple of at-home chargers as well, which is a nice touch. The power delivery is pert and prompt, and that means that this has more than enough to move this big body around, and even though it's not as powerful as some of its rivals, you don't really notice it. You still get a few thrills when you have to accelerate to get up to speed or overtake. And there's no lag when you're in stop-start sort of traffic, which I really appreciate in a big SUV like this. You're not really going to notice the switch between the electric and the combustion components. And because it's such a quiet cabin, even when you're on the highway, that really translates to a refined driving experience. And the adaptive variable suspension also makes it a very smooth ride. It's a really pleasant open roader. The regenerative braking isn't customizable, and to be frank, you're not really going to notice it even when it activates. That's going to make people who have been in a traditional ICE probably more comfortable and an easier SUV to drive because of it. But those who really love that aspect of an EV, you're not going to find it in this. The steering is responsive on the heavier side, but I quite like that in a car of this size. You can take corners at speed because of how well balanced this feels, which is great. There's a little bit of roll, but it never feels top heavy, which is good. Visibility is pretty good from my driving position. I really like that you've got the digital rear view mirror, just because if you do have a full car load, you don't feel like you're sort of missing out on vision out the back. None of the pillars got in the way either, which is good. All the effort is taken out of parking this because it has a really clear 360-degree view camera system and a tight 11.8 meter turning circle. It's honestly very, very simple to park, and you're going to really like that in the city. The RX is covered by a maximum 5-star ANCAP safety rating from testing conducted in 2022 and scored really highly across all of its individual assessment scores. It also has 8 airbags and a full suite of safety equipment as standard, including emergency call functionality, side exit assist, and child detection alert. But the full safety specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you need more info. The RX is covered by a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, which is comparable to its nearest rivals but isn't amazing for the segment anymore. There is a cap price servicing program for 5 years where services cost just $695, which is reasonable, and servicing intervals are well spaced at every 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, whichever occurs first. This grade also gets a 3-year complimentary Lexus Encore membership, which includes access to a phone app and a range of benefits from some partners like Ampol and Westfield. You also get 24/7 roadside assistance included, which does give peace of mind. The new Lexus RX450h Sports Luxury all-wheel drive definitely delivers on the luxury factor. This has a long equipment list full of premium and family-friendly and practical features. It's a very comfortable SUV to drive, and the new powertrain, you get the most out of it if you charge it every day. That's not always going to be feasible for busy families, but overall this has been a very solid combination, and that's why it gets the score that's on your screen now. But if you're after more details, check out the full written review at carsguide.com.au. I'll see you next week.